Eagles made draft day contact with QB Shedeur Sanders. Earlier this month, it was reported the Ravens initially planned to select Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round of April's draft. Instead, the oft-discussed quarterback wound up being taken by the Browns. During an appearance on the New Heights podcast, VideoLink, Sanders' father Dion confirmed the Ravens' interest. He also corroborated reporting which stated the presence of Lamar Jackson as Baltimore's starter severed as the reason why the Sanders camp preferred a selection from another team. A poor pre-draft process led to a slide well into the Day 3 order, something which added further to the unusual storyline surrounding this situation. Deion Sanders made another notable revelation when speaking about the draft, though, hat tip Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com. In addition to interest from the Ravens and Browns, the Eagles made contact during the event. Philadelphia's QB depth chart is of course topped by Jalen Hurts, something which will remain the case for the foreseeable future. The team made a number of moves at the position this offseason, however. Kenny Pickett was dealt from the Eagles to the Browns in a move which made him one of 4 passers to take part in training camp for Cleveland. After the team elected to go with Joe Flacco as the starter, Pickett became expendable and he was traded to the Raiders. That left Sanders in a third-string role behind fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel. Flacco has handled QB1 duties for each of the first 3 weeks this season, and it does not appear a change in the pecking order is imminent. Had the Eagles drafted Sanders, they would presumably have avoided trading for Sam Howell late in August. The latter was traded during Day 3 of the draft from Seattle to Minnesota, but the Vikings' decision to sign Carson Wentz as a new backup opened the door for Howell to change teams once again. The Eagles also have 2023 6th-rounder Tanner McKee on their quarterback depth chart. Howell is a pending free agent, but McKee's rookie contract runs through 2026. Selecting Sanders would have represented a long-term and inexpensive investment under center on the part of Philadelphia. The issue of having an entrenched starter still would have been an issue similar to that of the Ravens, however. The situation is much different in Cleveland, and it remains to be seen when, or if, Sanders will receive playing time in 2025. The NFL draft is a theater of dreams, filled with speculation, strategy, and secretive negotiations that often remain buried until a player decides their next step. For Shedeur Sanders, the young quarterback who has captivated football fans with his poise, football IQ, and the shadow and inspiration of his Hall of Fame father, the draft process was no exception. What many fans didn't know, however, was that the Philadelphia Eagles quietly made contact with him on draft day, an overture that revealed both their interest and their strategic thinking. Shedeur Sanders' rise through college football has been nothing short of meteoric. After showcasing a rare blend of arm talent, accuracy, and composure under pressure, Sanders became one of the most talked-about QB prospects in his class. Analysts noted his ability to read defenses quickly, his leadership on the field, and his knack for making plays in high-pressure situations, qualities that make him an NFL-ready quarterback. The buzz surrounding him was amplified by his last name, which inevitably drew comparisons to his legendary father, Deion Sanders, but Shedeur has worked tirelessly to craft his own identity, one defined by skill, precision, and ambition rather than legacy alone. Philadelphia, a franchise known for its aggressive roster moves and quarterback-friendly system, clearly saw an opportunity. According to inside sources, the Eagles' front office made direct contact with Sanders' representatives on draft day, signaling that they were intrigued by his potential to contribute to the team, either immediately or as a strategic developmental piece. This contact wasn't just a formality, it was a calculated move, an attempt to gauge Sanders' interest and test the waters before the official draft selection rounds began. For Sanders, the interaction was emblematic of the choices he now faced. As a young quarterback entering the NFL, every conversation, every call, and every handshake carries weight. The Eagles, with a franchise quarterback of their own, represented a team with a strong foundation but limited immediate starting opportunities. Their pitch likely focused on mentorship, development, and a chance to learn within a successful system. Yet, Sanders has always been someone who values playing time and the opportunity to step onto the field as a true leader. For him, being in a backup role, even with a high-profile team like Philadelphia, may not have aligned with his vision for his career. Draft day contacts like these are a delicate dance. Teams reach out, gauging interest, assessing fit, and attempting to build rapport. Players and their agents weigh not only the team's appeal but also the fit within offensive schemes, coaching philosophies, and long-term career growth. In Sanders' case, while the Eagles made an overture, the young quarterback reportedly remained focused on teams that offered a clearer path to a starting role. This decision underscores a trend among modern QB prospects who prioritize development and opportunity over joining historically successful teams where they might remain on the sidelines. The story of the Eagles' interest also reflects the growing sophistication of NFL draft strategy. Teams increasingly employ a combination of analytics, game tape study, and personal outreach to secure the best talent. They understand that landing a quarterback with Shedeur Sanders' skill set isn't just about who picks first. It's about building relationships and demonstrating a vision that resonates with the player. Philadelphia's contact, although ultimately not resulting in a draft day acquisition, was a signal that the team sees value not only in elite draft talent but also in the subtle art of persuasion, positioning, and player development strategy. For fans, it's tempting to focus on the what if Sanders had signed with Philadelphia. How would the Eagles' quarterback room look today? Would Sanders' trajectory change in a system led by a coach known for his innovative offense? These questions remain part of the NFL's endless, alternate universe scenarios. Yet, the reality is that Sanders' path reflects intentional decision-making, self-awareness, and confidence in his abilities. He isn't merely following a name or a franchise's prestige. He's charting a course where his talent can shine, his leadership can develop, and his future can unfold on his own terms. The Eagles' draft day contact also offers a glimpse into how teams navigate the modern quarterback landscape. With the position increasingly central to franchise success, teams must act decisively while respecting the player's agency. In Sanders' case, the conversation likely revolved around more than just playbooks. It probably touched on mentorship, development plans, and the franchise's vision for its quarterback pipeline. For a player of Sanders' caliber, these conversations matter as much as draft positioning or signing bonuses. Ultimately, this episode is part of a larger narrative about opportunity, timing, and personal vision in professional sports.